Lesson 8. A Voice in the Dark. The snow was still deep and the mornings and evening cold when a week after this we reached Ottawa. This snow travelling was not at all to my liking, and I often persuaded my companion to make more haste towards Winnipeg. This he agreed to do, so the next morning we jumped freight train, determined to hold it for the whole day. Unfortunately, it was simply a local train, and being very slow, having to stop on the way at every insignificant little station, we left it at a town called Renfrew, intending that might to beat a fast overload passenger train, which would convey us 400 or 500 miles before daybreak. With this object, we sat in the station's waiting room until evening, and then some 20 minutes before the train became due, we slipped out unobserved and took possession of an empty car stationary some distance away, from which place we could see the train coming and yet be unseen from the station's platform. This train would soon arrive. The passengers here already pacing the platform, the luggage were placed in readiness, and a number of curious people having nothing else to do had assembled here to see the coming and going of the train. At last we heard its whistle, and looking out, we saw the headlight in the distance drawing nearer, and there is still being much ice and snow on the track. "Come," I said to Jack, "there is no time to lose," and we quickly jumped out of the empty car. The fast passenger train carried a blind baggage car, which means that the end nearest to the engine was blind in having no door. Our object was to suddenly appear from a hiding place, darkness being favorable, and leap on the step of this car and from that place to the platform, this being done when the train was in motion, knowing that the conductor, who was always on the watch for such doings, rarely stopped the train to put men off, even when sure of their presence. If he saw us before the train started, he would certainly take means to prevent us from riding. When we had once taken possession of this car, no man could approach us until we reached the next stopping place, which would probably be 50 miles or much more. At that place we would dismount, conceal ourselves, and when it was again in motion, make another leap for our former place. Of course, the engineer and firemen could reach us, but these men were always indifferent and never interfered, their business being ahead instead of behind the engine. The train whistled almost before we were ready and pulled slowly out of the station. I allowed my companion the advantage of being the first to jump. Owing to his mammoth hand, the train was now going faster and faster, and we were forced to keep pace with it. Making a leap, he quickly took possession of this bar, and I ran with the train, prepared to follow his example. To my surprise, instead of at once taking his place on the platform, my companion stood thoughtlessly irresolute on the step, leaving me on room to make the attempt. But I still held to the bar, though the train was now going so fast, and I found great difficulty in keeping step with it. I shouted to him to clear the step. This is preceded to do very deliberately, I thought. Taking a firm grip on the bar, I jumped, but it was too late, for the train was now going at a rapid rate. My foot comes short of the step and I feel and still clinging to the handlebar and dragged several yards before I relinquished my hold. And there I lay for several minutes, feeling a little shaken, whilst the train passed swiftly on into the darkness. Even then, I did not know what had happened, for I attempted to stand but found that something had happened to prevent me from doing this. Sitting down in an upright position, I then began to examine myself and now found that the right foot was severed from the ankle. This discovery did not shock me so much as the thoughts which quickly followed, for as I could feel no pain, I did not know but what my body was in several parts, and I was not satisfied until I had examined every portion of it. Seeing a man crossing the track, I shouted to him for assistance. He looked in one direction and another, not seeing me in the darkness, and was going his way when I shouted again. This time he looked full my way, but instead of coming nearer, he made one bound in the air, nearly fell, scrambled to his feet, and was off like the shot from a gun. This man never found, and no man came forward to say, I am he. Having failed to find this man, people at last began to think I was under a ghostly impression, probably that the other man's impression, for whoever saw pity make the same speed as fear. Another man after this approached, who was workman on the line, and at the sound of my voice he seemed to understand at once what had occurred. Coming forward quickly, he looked me over, went away, and in a minute or two returned with the assistance of several others to convey me to the station. A number of people were still there, so that when I was placed in the waiting room to bide the arrival of a doctor, I could see no other way to keeping a calm face before such a number of eyes than they taking out my pipe and smoking, an action which I am told caused much sensation in the local press. W. H. Davies. Word meaning: maimed, crippled, irresolute, undecided, relinquished, allowed to go, released. Bide, wait. Sensation, a stirring of emotion and interest of many people. Let's learn grammar. Simple present tenses used. A. To talk about things in general, not about something happening now, but about something happening all the time. Example: I eat 2 chapatis at my lunch. I like to play cricket. Ankit goes to his school by a bus. B. To express universal or permanent truths. Example: the sun rises in the east. The earth rotates on its axis.